My name is Kelsey Diggs. I'm a about to be sophomore theater major at the University of Maryland. So I did my first opera the winter of my senior year of high school. We did Transformations by Conrad Susa. I played character 2/Anne Sexton. It was crazy, but wonderful, and probably so far the best performance experience I've ever had. It's definitely shaped how I approach music and character and background research. I was playing Anne Sexton, who was a 20th century confessional poet. I'm playing a real person. A lot of her poetry, which all the lyrics of the opera come from her poetry. It was my job to figure out who this woman was, why she wrote the things she wrote, how it all kind of tied into her life, how it tied into, political, social structures of the world she was living in at the time. The opera has a really strong theme of mental illness and kind of how society interacts with that and accepts it or doesn't accept it. And she was committed to a mental institution at a pretty young age by her husband. So it was really important for me to kind of connect to her on that level and figure out, how has that affected her and why has she chosen to write about that, and where are the little hints in the music and the writing that kind of point to how she feels about that. As far as music is concerned, I had some musical theater training before this. I had no idea what I was in for. I didn't know how to read music when I started the opera, and I was like, I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And I had to teach myself how to read music. It was really challenging and at times pretty frustrating, honestly, to feel like I was a little bit over my head, but I put in the work, and I spent hours and hours and hours looking at the notes. I taught myself how to play my line on the piano. I learned what all the notes meant, but with musical theater, it's helped so much. I feel like it's definitely, I consider myself not just an actor, but a musician now. Because I can look at notes and I can look at sheet music and understand it. And I definitely think that working on opera and kind of looking at the connections between what the music is telling me, and I think it really says something when you're working on a piece of music and a show that is so challenging and emotionally wrenching that you really need to have people around you that you can trust and that you can be okay to cry in front of or get angry in front of, and just know that if you asked any one of those people for a hug, they would say yes. So especially for me, since it was a show that required a character that was so dark and so just emotionally messed up, it was really helpful for me to have people around me who cared about me and who remembered that I was not only an actor, but a person. It is hard to build confidence as a young actor because we're taught that it is very competitive and that it's very hard to make it, and I think being able to take on such a challenge and to do it successfully grows confidence so well, because it's I just did an opera. I don't know, I haven't met a lot of other teenagers that get to say that, and I feel really lucky knowing that I had that opportunity because it is so rare, especially for me being so young, and that's always at the top of my resume. It's in every bio I write, I have for a show. It's, whenever someone asks me what my favorite roles and shows I've done are, it's always on that list, and I don't think it'll ever leave that list.